Inshallah, Allah Azza wa Jal in Holy Quran reminding us that darkness upon darkness, that when somebody is in so much difficulty and so much darkness that even they stretch out their hand and they can't see their hand. And whom Allah Azza wa Jal has not granted a light has no light, and whom Allah Azza wa Jal has granted a light has a Divinely light, a Divinely gift by Allah Azza wa Jal. Means in the days of difficulty that open upon that earth, that Nurul Huda, the lights of guidance, the lights of blessings, the lights of barakah become so needed in creation that it begins to separate the truth from falsehood. The imitated light, the imitated action and the imitated characteristics means that in many times we walk the earth trying to inspect holy people, and we set upon a criteria, we even try to test them to see their holiness. And Mawlana Shaykh reminding that this is a very dangerous time to do that, because they don't care for you. They don't care for who comes and who goes. They are whom Allah Azza wa Jal has granted their light, they have their light. Whom Allah Azza wa Jal has granted Sultanan Nasira, they have an authority from the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad through their heart. Not imitated, but through their heart they have witnessed what Allah Azza wa Jal wants them to witness, and they have a manifested authority, not only the spiritual, means that through their heart they have to witness, they have to be taken into the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad and Prophet must sign upon them. That is their spiritual khash, the Ahlul Basira, the people whose hearts are open and they traverse this world through their soul, and their darajats, many times more powerful than others, so each may speak to their understanding and to their level. And they have a manifested authority in the physical dunya, means their ijazas, and that they accompanied a perfected master from insana kamil, from the inheritance of the perfected one in creation, the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad means khuluqul azim. They have a wondrous characteristic of rahmah, of mercy, of Divinely grace and Divinely knowledges. And they begin to teach us that a sign of the extent of their light, and throughout Holy Qur'an always describing the nur and the nur and the nur, and the parable of that nur is knowledge. That as much as Allah Azza wa Jal has granted them of lights, we're not talking about fluorescent lights, sunlight, we're talking about Divinely lights upon their souls. As much as Allah Azza wa Jal has granted them of light, that light in dunya manifests as a knowledge, and knowledge is power. It means they have a Divinely power by Allah Azza wa Jal. Not when you say power, people say, oh you're trying to talk about like you have some sort of influence. They're not talking about that. They're talking about that Allah Azza wa Jal has granted a light upon their soul, and that Divinely light is from the oceans of Kawthar, that it has all ulum al-awwaleen wal-akhirin, again depending upon their darajat and how much they're drinking and taking and dressing from these lights. Allah Azza wa Jal describes they are ibadur Rahman, they are the servants of Ar-Rahman, and Surat Ar-Rahman describes them. That Allah Azza wa Jal describes them, alam al-Qur'an khalaq al-insan. Their souls I have taught all of Holy Qur'an. And the depth of that, when we begin to contemplate that Qur'an is not something created. Qur'an is Allah Azza wa Jal's Divinely speech. What we have in Al-Kitab and the Furqan is very limited in its understanding, the depth of which is in the books in paradise, Ummul Kitab. We have the book of Furqan, which is the criteria of right and wrong. Because many people open and say, I see this is a book of just right and wrong, because all they see is Furqan. Then if they have the love of the Arabic messenger and that Furqan, the mix of it, the sweetness of it becomes Qur'an. And Qur'an al-Majid, Qur'an al-Kareem is not something created but Allah's divinely speech manifesting for us, of which all light and all blessings, all authority and all power are emanating from the Word of God. Because He says in all His book, first was my Word. The Word was the first, means the holy and divinely speech of Allah is the qudra and the power that is the power of all manifestation. Every manifestation breaks to a light, every light breaks to an energy, and every energy is broken into a sound. And we said before in other teachings that sound, Allah can destroy everything with a sound. Allah can manifest with a sound, Allah can freeze with a sound, and shaitan using sound now for weapons. They use sounds in sonar, they use sounds to clean your teeth. All of that Allah describing sayhatan wahidatan. It was but one blast and your creation will be nothing. It was one blast and I raise your creation. It was but one blast and I freeze your creation. You'll be stuck. Where Allah wants you to be stuck means they're describing, Allah describing the might and the majesty of that Divine light, whom Allah describes, whom I've given that light, they have light. And the one who has no light, he can't see even his hand in front of him. In Surah Al-Nur, when you read Surah Al-Nur and you go through these ayahs, Allah describing whom there is no light, there is no light. They're imitating, they're lying and faking. They may have certain dressings upon their heart, they may be in a complete illusion of what they have is good and their actions to be good. But the core and the reality of their light is in the characteristics of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means the Shaykh al-Kamil and those who are inheriting from the Kamil Shaykhs, they have the characteristics of Prophet. They have a love, a respect, an adab, a training in which is all based on love and respect. If we don't have love, we don't have that light. If we don't have respect, we don't have that light. If we don't have adab, we don't have that light. If we don't have the fragrance and the perfume of Sayyidina Muhammad, we most definitely don't have that light. We can only speak as a descendant of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means must be inheriting from Nabi Musa, must be same. Sayyidina Isa must be same. They must have the characteristics of their Prophet. They must have that rahmah, that mercy, that good characteristic, that they never harm but they always improve, they never backbite but they always encourage, they never do bad things and they encourage people towards good, and they take a tremendous amount of abuse from people that backbite them, that talk bad about them, that spread slander and bad gossip about them, and they are istiqam, they keep on their way with their covenant of Allah has given to them, their love for Sayyidina Muhammad, and they are inheritors of Ahlul Bayt, that they are the intercessors of creation, that whatever Allah sends to them they try to patiently endure through difficulty. Means that for us is the light, that is the reality of their souls and the reality of that blessing that cannot be achieved in dunya except by a grant from Allah. And they warning for us and consistently teaching for us that if you are going about trying to quantify and trying to verify and trying to check who they are, stop for a moment and see that this dunya is collapsing. This dunya is entering into tremendous amounts of difficulty. Then who will save you? Means when everything begins to collapse, and the facade begins to break down and difficulty becomes right in front of you in the horizon, all the lies that shaitan has put upon you will go, because shaitan says, I see what you don't see and I'm running. I'm running from this deceit. I'm not going to be sitting there in front of that. Means then they begin to warn us, instead of you checking them, you should live a life hoping who's going to check out for you. Means there must be 124,000 awliyaullah on this earth. Is there a wali on this earth that we accompanied, and we accompanied with such a characteristic, and that we sacrificed and served with such a characteristic that that wali is willing to sign for us? Not physical, spiritual. That they say, yes, this character is a real character, this character is a good character, this character is a perfumed and fragrance character, and they begin to present that one to their shaykh, and from their shaykh to their shaykh, and from their shaykh to their shaykh, to the holy presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. That very difficult. That through many years of sacrifice, through many years of trials, through many years of service, the khidmat in their way opens Allah's rahmat. Everything about their testing is to bring about a khidmat. They're trying to teach us, instead of you checking who they are, they don't need you. And that's why now you see a tremendous amount of testing all over the world. Because they're shaking. They shake the tree and see all the people who make comments about the shaykhs, and this is a shaykh, this is not the shaykh, this is the wrong shaykh, this is that shaykh. They're like monkeys holding on to a branch. They throw the monkeys off. They're not in need of a branch that's too heavy. What they are in need of those that are sincere, those that have a rahmah and a mercy within their hearts, whom Allah will save through these calamities. These calamities and these difficulties are coming onto this earth as a tremendous cleansing, as a tremendous cleaning. That Allah describes, you will be cleaned by people who have no mercy, at the hands of other men who have no mercy. If they don't get you, azab will get you. Whether it rains from the sky upon your head, whether it shakes from the ground beneath your feet, whether you drown within the oceans, or Allah's smallest bacteria or virus will be attacking you. And Allah going to ask, in the depth of your darkness, who are you going to scream out to now? Your facade and your lie is finished. Your closeness that you think you have to Allah, let's see if it opens anything of a protection. Your closeness to what you think you have of Sayyidina Muhammad, let's see if it opens anything for you. Your closeness to what you think you have of anywhere, let's see what it has for you, when not a single wali will sign a paper to your character. That's what they're warning us. If Allah's awliyaullah won't sign for your character, why would Allah sign? Why would Sayyidina Muhammad sign? He sent them. Atiya Allah, Atiya Rasul, wa ulul amri minkum. Those ulul am that you bother and that you antagonize and that you put difficulty upon them, they are the representatives of Allah on earth. They are the representatives of Sayyidina Muhammad on earth. If they're not going to sign, Prophet already no way looking to sign. They're rahmah, they look at you, they dress you from a rahmah, they catch you in the grave and fix you and clean you in the grave. But you won't be saved from the difficulty that's coming upon this earth. The grave, no problem, they clean you in the grave. But what they're talking about is azab and tremendous amount of difficulty while you're breathing. Because nobody's fearing death. You go, you go. Allah cleanse you on that side. But the difficulty that visiting upon the earth of calamities, and we want to be safe from these calamities, we want to be amongst those whom are safe, that the reality of a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, before you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ya Rabbi, let me to be in the refuge of those whom you have already granted a refuge. And they must be willing to sign on that character, that your character is tried and tested, and that you are real and that you are sincere. And everything in your life they grant like a khidmat, because they want from every reality of Holy Hadith, they want from every reality of Holy Qur'an. They are ayatun min ayatullah, they are the signs of Holy Qur'an living upon earth. When Allah says, take one step to me, I take 99 steps towards you, that is the reality of khidmat. If they have to step to come to see you, that's not the same blessing as you step to serve them. You step to see them. You have made your one step, and they present that to Allah's presence. They present that to Prophet ﷺ's presence. They merely make a dua, Ya Rabbi, they're coming. They stepped in this way, Ya Rabbi, step towards them 99 steps and fulfill that holy hadith and fulfill that holy reality, and dress them from your rahmah, bless them from your rahmah, take away their bad characteristics. Only through khidmat that rahmat begins to open, because that rahmat is the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. The Prophet is happy when people are serving. Prophet is happy when we sacrifice ourselves in service. We sacrifice our wealth in service, sacrifice our time in service, sacrifice our ability in service for the love of Prophet ﷺ. Not people who only want to serve themselves. They come with an agenda, they live in life with an agenda, a program and a plan within their head. But to live a life of service that, Ya Rabbi, I want nothing but to serve you. To serve Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ and to find an ulul am and to serve them. That they be pleased with me, they sign for me and they testify for me. Through their lights, Alam al-Qur'an, Khalaq al-Insan, Mawlana Shaykh began to inspire within the heart that imagine their lights. We were talking downstairs, if Sitna Maryam alayhi salam, Maryam, a female in the time of Jewish prophets alayhi salam, blessed Maryam alayhi salam, can bring nehmat by dua, that every time Sayyidina Zakaria came to the table, it was filled from the bounty of Allah. I mean, for us to think, when Allah gives a soul a gift, that is only a drop of the reality of that gift. And out of the adab and the love of Prophet ﷺ, they don't perform these types of miracles. But they teach us that if you just ponder with your faith, if a wali from that time can manifest fruits and can provide her rizq and her sustenance by the piety of her soul, Allah provides her food, Allah provides her light, Allah provides whatever she's in need of. This is a sign of Ibadur Rahman. They are dressed from the oceans of al-hayat. They are sirat al-khalq. They are the secrets of creation moving within them. And out of their love and their respect, they don't perform miracles because Prophet ﷺ didn't want those miracles. But they have enough of a miracle that merely their dua change what's ever in front of them. The food that you eat with their dua is a paradise reality, as if it had been switched from something in paradise. But we don't have the eyes of the heart to see. When Sayyidina Isa asked for a table from heaven, Allah warned, don't ask for that table, because the ones who are asking you to bring that miracle, they will not eat from it because they are arrogant. Means arrogance and bad character blocks the miracle, blocks the reality. All they see is just some items that they can find cheaper in another store. If you knew the reality of what those items are poisoning you with, and the reality of what you're being dressed with from just the water in these associations, just the zikr in these associations, just the light of these associations, we would be astonished if we had a heart to see and see the extent of those lights. That's what they're warning us. Those lights can take away disease and sickness. Those lights can take away the atrocities and unimaginable things that they put into the food chain and food systems. That just one example of that food is that Prophet ﷺ forbid you to urinate and defecate by a tree. Why? Because the tree will absorb what you've put into it. If you urinate on a tree, the tree will absorb that and you'll be eating that urine in the fruit. And now they have these colored roses. You go to stores and there's a nice purple rose that Allah never made that color on this earth. But they put a dye into the water and the flower completely absorbs it. Take that flower home, put it in clean water, and the whole water becomes purple. To show you, they absorb. And what are they farming with on these trees and on this agriculture? They call grey water. They take your toilet and they throw it onto the trees. And they send you to the organic store to spend 3 times the amount for the fruit that comes from that tree. Organic. They tell you, yeah, even you go to the super organics, they go themselves and poop on the tree because they don't want to waste it in the toilet. They say, yeah, we put our waste into the trees so we have no carbon imprint. We put all our urine onto the trees and we call that organic. And people are worried of big corporations. They should be worried about the people who are defecating and urinating on their fruits. That is the azab of dunya. That when they say that the deceitful one, that you live within a time of deceit, because you don't know the extent of the deceit put upon our eyes. We see it to be good, run to the fancy store and spend 3 times the amount of money for someone's defecation and urine that have been put upon your fruit. Bravo to us and to our ability. We pray that Allah save us, Allah bless us, open our hearts to see the light, to move towards that light, to live a life of service. Find one of those 124 and serve them. Serve them with khidmat, with your love, with your understanding, and pray that they sign off for your good character and you should find a safety through the difficulties that come. وَخُذْ أَمْرِي إِنَّ اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. But to live and to pass from this world in a state of belief. Because you do all that good and it's not to live here 1,000 years, but to live and to leave this life in belief. To leave this life with the completion of your faith, with the image of your sunnah and your love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Everybody's going. But how you're going to be shipped out of this world and in what condition, your faith, your heart and your being is important. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.